Friday. It's the last day of January. Hi, Misty. I'm not streaming on TikTok anymore because they pissed me off. So I'm just not using TikTok anymore, period. So it's just Instagram and YouTube for now. Because I haven't figured out a better workaround for Instagram yet, but that's what we're doing. Yeah, I don't know. The month of January has seemed to be the absolute longest month I can remember. How about for you? Hi, Janelle. Hi, Stephanie. Ooh, thank you. I used a straightening iron on them today and washed my hair and everything. And I even used a deep conditioning mask because my hair has been so dry. Hi, Cindy. Hi. Thank you. I'm telling you, since me and my hairstylist decided to do this particular haircut, I feel like my hair has never looked better. It just like likes this hair cut, and I don't have to put like a bunch of product in it anymore. It's so much easier. It's wild. I'm not on TikTok. I was just saying, Janelle, I'm not doing TikTok anymore. I got really pissed off that day when TikTok went away for 8 hours and then like came back, and I just like I was already like annoyed with the whole thing, and that just really it really just rubbed me wrong, and I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it anymore. So it's just going to be Instagram and YouTube for now, until some other platform comes up that we decide collectively we want to use instead of this one. So obviously I'll send out an email, but I have news about the Normalized Magic workshop. I'm changing how I'm doing it completely because once I finish up with school in the spring, my schedule is going to be really much busier. But I also want to have the group available as a support for everybody. So I'm changing it. You still have to sign up. You still have to sign up. You still have to register, but it is going to be donation based after this current round. I think we have maybe 5 more weeks or so of the current round of workshops. So if you're an OG and you've been like, I want to be back in, I miss everybody, you can do that. It's probably going to be more like 2 meetings a month as opposed to every Wednesday, but we'll see. But I am basically opening this up in a different way for us so that we have a consistent place to connect together and, you know, reconnect together and talk through this year together. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of mental health support in that space. So, like I said, I'll be sending out an email with more information if you're on my email list. But you still have to register, you still have to sign up, but it is going to be donation only from now on. So that makes me feel better, and probably makes you feel better too, right? But yeah, that is the plan, and I'm excited because I think I miss a lot of your faces. You know what I mean? And it'll be good because I don't know, shit's so crazy right now. I have to like, I think it seems like the vibe right now, at least from what I'm feeling for me, is like you kind of like look at it and then you dissociate, and you look at it and you dissociate, and it's just like like I'm decided to paint my house. Like I'm just doing all kinds of things like that to keep myself occupied. Um, but I do have a rant because last night, Cindy and I went to this Poe experience thing, And first of all, is anyone going this weekend? Because I don't want to ruin your life by telling you about it. So, but maybe you'll have a different experience. I doubt it, but um, the biggest rant I have is that I really don't like this Edgar Allan Poe guy. I think he's shit. Like, how has this happened? Like, how is he so like famous? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you like his writing? Because like he was crazy. I was sitting there listening to his stuff being like performed in a very dramatic way. I guess it's dramatic. And I was being told it was going to be spooky and otherworldly. And I was like, it's not spooky and otherworldly. It's like he's schizophrenic and he harms living beings and then hides them in the floorboards. Like that's not that's not like cool, right? It's not spooky. That's like a crime. And like just totally paranoid and psychotic. And then we learn that he married his 13-year-old cousin, right? And everyone's like, don't do that. And her mother was like, you can marry her if you let me live with you forever. And he was like, great, amazing, like awesome. So he marries his 13-year-old first cousin, Lenore, bless. And then by the time she's like 20, she's so crazy she won't leave her bedroom. And then she dies of tuberculosis, which apparently is the thing that happens to the women in his life. And then he writes this Nevermore with the Raven, and that's like so famous and everything. But have you read it? It's creepy as fuck. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm new to this whole thing. I mean, I am a English creative writing major, but I like literally never got into Poe. But is it just that if you're like a white dude, like was poetry the bro podcast of that century? Do you know what I mean? Because ah, anyhow, that's my rant about that. I'm not going to rant about the actual event in case some of you are actually going, and you can just make your own. You can make your own ideas about that. I don't want to trash an event like um, publicly. So, but I will trash him like literally. If he has no haters, I'm dead. He's dead. But ah, anyhow, with that in mind, today is finally the last day of January. And so we're going to pull some cards together, and I will give you 3 things to choose from. I just don't think it's dark. It's like, it's just poor mental health and syphilis too, right? Was that him with syphilis? He didn't tell us about syphilis, but who knows? That was very rampant back in the day as well. Anyhow, um, your 3 things. I'm going to give you 3 different types of blackbirds. Okay, just to keep in the theme. We're going to obviously go with crows, ravens, and starlings. Okay, crow, raven, and starling. So you pick what you want, and I'm shuffling. It's weird to only have 2 screens going. Crow, raven, and starling. Yeah, they make a real racket. My sister has this book. I forget what the name of it is, but it's like a hater book on birds. I should have done STDs. That would have been really funny. Syphilis, gonorrhea. Oh, I don't know enough of them. Syphilis, gonorrhea. What's the one with the bugs in the pubic hair? Crabs? Crabs? It's a good thing that I don't know, right? It's not a bad thing. Crow, raven, and starling are your choices. I am shuffling. Ew. Herpes. I was just thinking, like, if someone was in my house and they hear me just like shouting out herpes. So crazy. Oh, okay. All right. Here comes your crow. Oh my God. You did. We're here now, though. Don't worry about it. um, Tell me when you're ready for crow. Oh, hi, Kit. All right. Your choices again: crow, raven, and starling. I have in front of me crow. I'll just get to it. Death, letting go, and the mystery. Super subtle on this Friday morning, last day of January. You have death, letting go, woo, and the mystery. Do I even really need to translate this message for you, or can you do it for all of us? I don't think, like, can you remember a time when we had death and letting go in the same hand? Like, what a pull. What a pull. Okay. So just for shits and giggles, I'm going to go ahead and translate this just in case um, you didn't already. Something is ending. You need to let it go. It's not just ending. It is like dunzo dead zone. Absolutely no more. Never more. Quoth the raven. It's actually crow. This is crow. So whatever. But you know. And in the absolute allowing this to no longer be in your life or around you in any way, shape, or form, like I'm talking, not even the residue of whatever this is needs to be here for you. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, it's then our favorite vibe, which is trust the mystery, like trust the process, that trust on the other side of this. You don't need that bullshit, right? You don't need it. You haven't literally ever needed it. You learn some lessons from it? You can learn lessons from anything. That doesn't mean you needed to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like learn it a different way. Maybe this year you decide to not make everything absolutely harder than it needs to ever be. Do you know what I'm saying? So trust that on the other side of actually letting this go, here comes abundance. Here comes amazing. Like it's gonna happen, right? Everything falls into place when you move the shit out of the way. Okay? So I just think that this message is very clear, and I hope that you receive it in the spirit in which it has arrived for you, which is blunt in your face and absolutely not subtle. Okay? All right. So that was Crow. If you missed it and you feel like Crow was for you, you can always watch the replay once I'm finished here on Instagram or on YouTube. Chuck it in the fuck it bucket, Becky. Good morning. Welcome here. All right, I'm shuffling for Raven. You're like all remarkably quiet about Crow. Who picked Crow and did you did you get your message? Everyone's like, "No, I meant Raven." Funny. That is surprising. Maybe you finally learned your lesson. All right, here comes Raven. Tell me when you're ready. Well, nothing needs to die. Remember, it's already dead. Hope that helps. Kit, I was saying before you came on that workshop is opening up again soon. And the new format is that is going to be donation based. So you still have to register, but it's all donation based for the next round. And it'll probably be more like meeting twice a month as opposed to every single week. But we're going to play that by ear. All right, here's Raven. You have Eagle, High Priestess, and Deer. All right, sorry. Eagle, High Priestess, and the Deer. So you have a lot of like high vibrational energy happening right now with like or within and around you. And I will let you see here that there is your raven right there, right on your shoulder. So really tapping in to your magic, really tapping into your higher understanding and actually like allowing yourself to like actually not get too caught up in in like the nitty gritty physicality of things, like trying to see things from a higher perspective and work with that energy from a higher perspective. You are able to really get a lot of messages in right now. It feels like very connected this way, but a reminder that we kind of shifted, right? The way that we are channeling in information. And these cards are not indicative of that shift. Obviously, they don't I don't feel like we have that card that like bridges the gap between receiving our information this way and now receiving it this way. So remember that too. As you're like receiving information, it's coming in here towards your heart now. So it actually needs to integrate like from your heart center and radiate outwards from that space, not down and through. Does that make sense? So like you are being connected to higher energies, in fact, higher frequencies than ever before. It's just the direction isn't as like linear as we used to think of it. It's coming in from heart space. Okay. So just remember that. Breathe it in through heart space and don't worry so much about the thinking. Okay. The deer is here because in this space of receiving all of this information, you know how when you learn something new and profound and like earth shattering, you just want to share it with everybody and like, 'cause, like it's changed my life, it's going to change yours too. Don't do that, is what the deer is saying. No one's ever like that. Like no one has ever enjoyed that vibe. It's just one of those things that we tend to do, right? We're like, "Ooh, this is amazing. You should do it. Oh, this is amazing. You should do it." It's like it's amazing for you. You do it. This is reminding you that you cannot rush anybody else's healing. You cannot shove someone to realization. You cannot accelerate a growth. You cannot implant within someone's mind a one iota of common sense if they're allergic to it. There's just nothing you can do with that. So focus on you. If something is working for you and making you feel amazing, stay in that space and focus on it. Don't worry about sharing it with everybody else and making sure everybody knows about it and trying to help others with it, like to program their mind with it. That's not how people take things. You know this because I'm sure you've experienced this yourself, right? The surest way, if you want me to like not do something, drive me crazy by telling me all about it when I haven't asked. You know what I'm saying? It's a surefire way to do that. So a lot is coming through, a lot of realizations. Be in discernment about how you choose to share that with the world around you at this time. And try not to drive yourself crazy trying to make other people around you see what you see. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? That is your raven. All right. Hi, Todd. Hi, Emily. All right. Last one is your starling. This morning's choices were crow, raven, and starling. You can always go back and listen to those messages on Instagram and YouTube if you missed them. But this next one is starling. Oh, interesting, Caress. So I didn't buy another snake, but I did get a bearded dragon. Her name is Beatrice, and I got her a couple months ago, but she hasn't been able to come here to me yet because she was too little and then it was too cold. So she's arriving finally next week. She's red and her face is like freaking adorable. And I'm very excited to have a little dragon. It's going to be different. She's different, obviously, than a snake because bearded dragons are diurnal. So they actually wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night. They need their good 8-9 hours of sleep every night. And so she's going to be living in the family room so that we can really hang out with her and pay attention to her. She needs a salad every day. Just, I need a salad too. And she's going to eat bugs, which is not my favorite, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, she's red. I'll spam you obviously with pictures next week. She's coming on Wednesday, so I'm pretty excited. Hi, Suzette. The snakes are all good, but they're basically in winter mode. All they want to do is eat and sleep. I mean, that's all they want to do anyway, but they're not very active right now at all. So we're just keeping them warm and toasty and making sure they have what they need. And then hopefully when it warms up, we'll see them more. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. All right, here comes your starling. It's interesting because all three of these polls this morning are like, all pretty vastly different in the vibes. So tell me when you're ready for starling. All right, here's your starling. Serpents, joy, and communication. Now, this is an interesting message next to the message that we just had that was basically like, you're getting a lot of new learning and information in, like, but shut up about it. Nobody wants to hear it, basically, right? This one is kind of the opposite. So you are in a space of learning right now, but you are also in a space of teaching. Okay. The difference here is when you're in a space of learning and teaching, you are in a position that you are being sought. Oh my God, my brain with words. Sought after. You're being sought after to teach, basically, to release information of some sort, right? So you have consent from people to share what you're learning and to share what you know. You're in a space of teaching right now. And does that mean you're a formal teacher? I don't know. You could be, but it's not necessary for what you're doing, right? So it's just it's anything. It's like you're learning about something and you're in a position to share that knowledge and it's feeling really really good. In fact, the way that this knowledge is like integrating into your system at this time, it almost begs to be communicated, right? And because you have the invitation to communicate it, it is received with joy. And that is going to feel so good because you can also remember what it feels like to share information and for it not to be received with joy, right? For it to be kind of like not received well at all, right? So in this energy, you are in a space of sharing and communicating what you are learning and just really like it's like flowing. It's a vibe, right? And all vibes change. So make sure to be present with this one because it's enjoyable for you and it's meaningful for you. It won't last forever, like nothing does. So enjoy how good it feels and don't worry about the longevity of it or to turn it into something else. Just enjoy it. Enjoy enjoy that flow and that connection with yourself, with people and with the information. Okay? So, that is your starling for this morning. So, yay. Well, goodbye, January. Goodbye. And I will see you in February. I'm sending you so much love. And I hope you have a really, really good weekend and do some things that feel nurturing and loving and kind to you and yours. And I will be back most likely next Friday for some more coffee and magic. And I will see you, my normalized magic workshop people, on Wednesday. Okay. Mwah. I love you guys.